morning. It is about 9:30 on Thursday, July 24th, I think. And we are in the villages for our lifestyle visit. John's getting really good at the golf cart directions. We like to use the villagers GPS. It's called the villagers GPS or the villages? Not sure. The villages GPS because it gives golf cart specific instructions. It's a beautiful sunny day, as are most days here.
We're going to the recreation center that we've not been to yet called the Aviary. It is a bird thing. It looks like an over-the-top bird thing.
Yeah, our daughter, who does not like birds, would probably hate it.
We're going to the Pickleball Open play for beginners, which we did yesterday too at a different recreation center.
But I'm not quite sure everyone there should be a beginner because they were definitely way better than we were. We'd only played once before yesterday. So today will be our third time. But it is good to have people who are more experienced who help you with the rules and scoring and all of that.
Yeah, they're very nice and very helpful.
Yes, and several of them were very accommodating. You could tell they were holding back when they served to me, for example. But we would split up. We can explain on another video how the system works, but you don't necessarily stay together unless you make a point to do that. I noticed when they served to someone who was more experienced, it was a much harder serve. Or when they returned it to someone who was not me, it was a much harder return. So.
And I found if I was teamed up with a guy a couple times named Jesse, and sometimes we'd be winning, and all of a sudden the serves would start coming to me with a spin on them if we were winning.
So they were definitely adjusting their skill level. Some people were for us. All right, so we'll let you know how it goes. We're excited. We're loving our visit so far.
Yeah.
I'd say it's definitely better than I even expected, and I was really looking forward to it. What would you say?
I agree. I mean, we thought maybe somehow the videos were just made it look better than it is, but it's really better than the videos.
Oh, look, there might be a biking group up here.
Yeah. I don't know that I can catch them.
So we'll have to look into that for John. We still haven't made it to the woodworking place. I haven't taken any dance classes. I mean, it's just flying by. We have to leave on early Sunday morning, so we really only have today, Friday, and Saturday, so I'm very sad about it. I told John I'd be fine just having somebody box up our stuff and ship it down here for us so we could just stay. All right, looks like it's just kind of open play right now. So we're here a little bit before the beginner open play. We're at the Aviary. There's a little ATM. Citizens First Bank, that's the bank that's all around the villages. So we'll go ahead and walk around this rec center. Is this a regional one?
I think so.
So if it's regional, does that mean it's an adult pool, right? No, a family pool.
I'm not sure. I want to say family.
I think regionals are family.
Generally, but they seem to deviate. So.
I think let me make sure nobody's in here before I film. I think regionals are family and okay.
One person.
Oh, I don't see him. Oh, I see him. So, I think neighborhood ones are adults and regional ones are families. So the bigger ones are for families.
But it's nice because the general setup now seems to be, they always have this lattice work around the edge where you can get some shade without having to find an umbrella.
Right, you're not fighting for umbrellas, basically, which is what I usually have to do because I have to have shade. It's pretty.
Yeah. I wanted to talk a little bit about this bald eagle. It's just an example of the Morse family's dedication to making this place super nice. They paid an artist from England to make this eagle for the Aviary, specifically for the Aviary Recreation Center. It took 3.5 months.
And it's made out of paper.
Yeah, it's all made out of paper.
See the birds on the little chandeliers? So I guess this is a multi-purpose room, maybe where they do fitness. Game rooms. Darts.
Here's a quick example of some of the many activities. You'll find things like this in every recreation center.
After pickleball in the middle of a hot, humid Florida afternoon, we had to go home, cool off, but wanted to talk a little bit about our pickleball experience. So, the way the open play works is you get to the court and you line up. You only play to 11 if there are people waiting. As a game finishes, then those four people come off the court and the next four people in line go play. So, you don't have to have a foursome or a twosome, or you don't have to know anybody. You just basically line up, they count off the next four people, and you go. And I will say this time, even though I tried to warn people that were relatively new, we're not super familiar with the rules, and especially I'm not very good with racket sports because I don't have a lot of experience. We've had some pretty competitive people who weren't really going to pull any punches. And one time when I actually managed to land a perfect like serve, it was just great, and the other team couldn't get to it. A lady on the opposing side actually kind of jumped up and down and said, that doesn't count because you didn't announce the score before you served, which may technically be the rule. And I'm trying to learn the rule. So I was gracious and said, fine. But my partner, who was just another person I just met, was kind of embarrassed that she had been so aggressive against a visitor to the villages and a new player. So you might encounter some people who are super aggressive. Just realize that maybe that's their thing and they're really into it, and, show them some grace. And Patty, if you're watching this, I'm practicing and I'm coming for you. I'm trying to find an adult only pool that is so new. It is not on our GPS from the villages. So, wish us luck. It is sunny. It is hot. So, this is the Street of Dreams. So, you can see there are little signs in front of all of these homes giving them cute little names. The way the villages does it, every time they're building a new area, they pick a street, which they name the Street of Dreams, and that has the different house models that will be available for purchase in that area. So when you meet with your village's rep, they can just take you basically down the street. And we weren't under any kind of obligation or pressure to go through the Street of Dreams. Our rep basically said, hey, what do you want to see? What can I show you? If you don't want to see anything and just experience everything at the villages, that's fine. But if there are certain home types or models you'd like to see, we can just meet on the street at a certain time and I'll unlock them for you and you can go through them. So if you're worried about a high pressure sales pitch like a timeshare, you can just take that off your list of things to worry about. So on our trolley tour, they told us when you see a street like this of homes where all the lanais are backing up to a road, that is done intentionally to make sure that nobody has to back out of their driveway onto a busy road. So in addition to that type of safety reason, they also use other considerations in deciding which home to place on which lot and facing in which direction, because they're trying to avoid the dreaded kissing lanai situation, which is where your lanai basically is backing up to or right next to lined up with your neighbor's lanai. So you're basically staring at each other. So they try to create as much privacy as possible in very small spaces. And you can tell this is a newer area because there are lots of workers around working on landscaping. You'll see a lot of worker trucks. So even as the houses are all completed at once, of course, when people move in, sometimes they're adding extra landscaping. Also, we learned that some of the homes are constructed using kind of these prefab concrete walls that are transported in and then just kind of bolted to the foundation. Apparently, once they get started building a home, it usually takes under 90 days to complete it. And that sometimes can cause a problem with buyers who don't realize that the house can be constructed so fast, because once the house is completed, you're expected to basically move in. All right, even without up-to-date village GPS, I think we found it. This is a village pool or recreation area. You can tell that because of the mailboxes. So this is where the residents of Well Point come to pick up their mail, and it's also the site of an adult-only pool. For these pools, you have to be at least 30. So this, of course, cuts down on the noise and the splashing, but it can still get a little rowdy, as this definitely seems to be the neighborhood hangout. There's plenty of shade with the lattice, and lounge chairs to me seem to be higher than kind of what I'm used to, which maybe that's a village thing to help people who are older get in and out of the chairs. After the pool, we headed home to get cleaned up and then headed over to Boosters, where we were meeting some longtime friends and village residents for dinner.
The food, the view, and the company were all excellent.